Hey, welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson. With more than 2 decades in sales, I've seen it, been through it, heard about it. Now I'm bringing it to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. Because let's be honest, this is the greatest job on earth. It doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality type, you can create an amazing life in sales. And today, I'm excited to chat with you a little bit about morning rituals that will kickstart your success. Now, I know there's a lot of different versions of success, and I talk about how it's a perspective, and everyone's is a little bit different. But here's what I know from personal experience: the morning is the most important part of the day for almost every entrepreneur I've ever met, myself included. Now, I understand everyone has a different circadian rhythm. Everyone's sleep cycle is different. Sometimes you have different jobs or clients at different parts of the world, which require you to be awake at different times of the day. I don't mind, but my big thing when I talk about Diary of a Damn Closer here, it's all about time management. What is your time worth? Where are you spending it? What are you spending it on? What kind of ROI are you truly generating? And to me, that starts in the morning. So if we know there's 24 hours in a day and we're going to wake up and we're going to be intentional about that, what time of day do you start waking up? It's simple. The number one thing that you can do to kickstart your day for success is wake up earlier. So for me, as I was going on this journey, what I learned is that, 7-8 years ago when I was still selling insurance, I didn't have to be at the office until technically, I think it was 8:30 a.m. or something. Now, I'm a go-getter. I'm an overachiever, and I always like to be early. I loved watching The Wire, and it was all about showing up early to things to make sure that you got the right perspective and vantage point. And so I always like to show up early. That's just a thing that I've always done. And still, though, my body would be waking me up at 5, 6 a.m., and I didn't have the same drive that I have now. I hadn't realized what it meant to develop and to grow and to truly work on getting better. I was just moseying through life. And so even though I didn't have to be there till 8 and my body was waking me up at 5, I would literally just snooze for that couple hours. I might wake up and hang out around the house and scroll social media or, watch some toxic shit on the news, but I wasn't doing anything productive. And what I know is that if time is our most valuable asset, those morning hours are really, really powerful, because what you start to realize when you wake up earlier and you set the alarm from 7 a.m. to 6 a.m. and then from 6 a.m. to 5 a.m., which the 5 a.m. Club is an amazing book. If you like to read, go listen or go read or listen to the 5 a.m. Club. It's an amazing book. It's a great storyline and also helps you understand the value of waking up earlier. Because I can tell you to wake up earlier and anyone else can tell you, but when you truly understand through experience, and the story that it tells is such a great experience about this process. For me, I wake up at 4 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. That alarm goes off at 4 a.m. Now, do I always immediately get out of bed at 4 a.m. on a Saturday or a Sunday? Not necessarily. I might snooze until a 4:30 or something, just to be very transparent. I'm not perfect, but the alarm does go off at 4 a.m. every day. So I am given the choice of if I'm going to wake up and crush the day, or if I'm going to let the day crush me by snoozing, overwhelm, whatever excuse I want to make. It's crazy, but it makes a big difference. And the sooner you start realizing that you can wake up earlier and have quiet time, have time before the rest of the world is stirring. If you have kids and you can wake up before they do, it's a very clear-headed time to think and organize your day. But that's just one. Waking up earlier is an amazing way to kickstart your day for success. Just starting with that will make a huge difference. That extra 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, what could you do with that time? Could you write the book? Could you start the podcast? Could you get yourself organized? Whatever that thing is that you've been wanting to do, could you work out? You don't need to go to the gym or go crazy, but could you find things to do with an extra hour a day? by waking up earlier. Now, here's one of the weird sciencey parts of this that I'm going to share with you guys, because I'm not a scientist. I have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express a time or two in my life, so I'd like to think I've been downloaded with some things. But when you go to sleep and you spend 6, 7, 8 hours in your bed sleeping, you're actually dehydrating yourself. And so when you wake up foggy and kind of not real sure, drink water, rehydrate. It's amazing what your body will do for you by simply drinking water first thing in the morning when you wake up. Now, me personally, I like to have an ice water. I have a big Yeti cup that I keep a big ice water in most of the time. I like cold water for me. That's my style. Not everyone likes it. There's people that are saying cold water can be good for you, bad for you. I'm not a scientist, like I said. But I do know that being hydrated helps me get lubricated and move my body, helps me be more clear-headed. And if you wake up and chug a big glass of ice water, that cold, refreshing drip down the inside of your belly, that'll get you moving. It'll wake you up. It's a shock to the system. And what tends to happen is when you wake up and you drink that water and you hydrate, you feel better. And you start to get some movement and some momentum. And from there, you can lean in on gratitude. And honestly, that's really the first thing that I do as soon as I start opening my eyes, is I start thinking about the things that I'm grateful for. But often I'm also parched, so I reach over and I grab my water at the same time. And that's one of the things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to know that I'm in a bed, that I have a roof over my head, that I have fresh, clean drinking water. These are all things that we take for granted to some extent. And yet, when you can focus on them and you can think about the gratitude, being thankful to know that you have those things, which a large majority of the world doesn't necessarily have, that's powerful. Because as I said, it's easy to pick up your phone, scroll social media, turn on the news, read a paper, and all you see is death, fire, destruction, somebody won the lottery. Like it's just this repeat cycle of negativity and toxicity. And, you might sprinkle in a little something wholesome here and there, but the news is not there to bring you joy. It's not there to excite you. It's not there to get you motivated. It is there to put certain agendas in front of you. And it's easy to let that overwhelm you. But when you just focus on gratitude and you think, I have a beautiful spouse next to me, kids in the other room, a roof, food, money in the bank, bills paid. Or you can even go so far as to say, I'm grateful for the struggles that I'm in. I'm grateful to know that, we have bills to pay. And I'm grateful to know that we have to go to the store and get this food and create a meal for ourselves. Like, we get to do those things. That's a blessing because you're alive. And some person didn't wake up today. Somebody did not open their eyes and get to celebrate the gratitude that you and I get to have. And I think that's something that's really important. So be grateful. Really focus on that. It's amazing that when your day starts to go sideways and you can look back and say, you know what? Here's the things that I'm grateful for today. Write them down in the diary. That's why I created this, so that you'd have a place to put all of these notes and thoughts and information that you want to remember. Because you can write it down and go back to it throughout the day and look at, I'm so grateful to have this podcast and to know that one of you is listening to this and that you're going to go and take action with what you learn. I'm so grateful to have a family that cares. I'm so grateful to have clients that want to grow and get better and learn and give me an opportunity to pour into them, which is ultimately just making room for people to pour into me. That's gratitude. And when you really focus on that and you're intentional, it will 100% change your life. And speaking of changing lives, if you've ever been on a fitness journey and been committed, it will change your life. And that's another great way to start your day for success. We're 10 minutes into this show already. I've given you 3 things that you can do to kickstart your day for success. And honestly, we haven't even broken the first 5 to 6 minutes of the day. We're literally just getting started with what's possible. But waking up earlier, that's a win. Focusing on your gratitude, that's a win. Rehydrating yourself so that you're lubricated and ready to take on the day, that's a win. And for me, I used to be 315 pounds. I'll never forget looking in the mirror, looking at the scale, and just asking myself, what happened? What are you doing? And as I've started my journey of personal development, as I realized, hey, I just need to wake up earlier and get moving. You know, my body's trying to tell me to start my day, and I'm slapping the snooze button. I'm making the choice to be lazy. So, well, of course I've got lazy results. What else would you expect? If you're not going to do the work, how can you expect any sort of anything to come from it? And what I did in combination was getting up earlier, focusing on gratitude, drinking my water, and working out. Because I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be the person who couldn't be there for his son. I'll never forget, I had a friend of mine. He came to me. He says, I see you're having a little success. You got your marketing company. You're doing some sales. That's pretty amazing. You got your wife and your son. I mean, that's pretty awesome, dude. But how would you feel if, boom, all of a sudden, you're up in heaven looking down, and there's some other jerk in your bed with your wife, and your son's in the other room crying because you're not there to build Legos with him? How would that feel? And all I could think was, well, it certainly doesn't sound like heaven. Like, what? No, I don't want that at all. That sounds like many, many other things, but heaven is not one of them. And he says, because you have to make the time to take care of yourself. You have to be there. He can't put what's on your plate. He can't get you to go and work out. You have to do those things. And ultimately, in combination with a conversation that my wife had at the same time of, you're not the man I married. When her and I got together, I was 215 pounds. I was moving and grooving and running and taking care of business, but I got comfortable. I got lazy. And I think all of us have gone through a season where we achieved that result. We got the goal that we were looking for, and we stopped putting in the work. And that's what happened to me. I started, I originally lost all the weight and met a beautiful girl, Kayla, my wife, and that was what I wanted. And I felt successful, and I got content, and I got lazy. And we started eating more, and I stopped working out as hard, and I stopped paying attention to the extra fruit snacks that I was shoving in my fat face. And I went from 215 to 285. And I had to ask myself, is this the man? Is this the example that I want to be? And it's not. And so for me, the first thing I have to do after I wake up early and I focus on my gratitude and I hydrate is I got to work out. I got to get my fitness in. I got to work out, because if I don't do it first thing in the morning, I'm sure as heck not going to do it later in the evening. And so I just know that that's something I have to do. I have to be very intentional about it. And originally, when I was bigger, I just went and walked. I'd get up, and my whole saying was, a 5K a day will keep the doctor away. A 5K a day will keep the casket away. A 5K a day is the way. And that's what I did. I just went and I walked the local park, 3.5 miles. I could do 4 or 5 loops, and I knew exactly how long it was going to take me, either 45 or 60 minutes. And I could just build that into my routine. And while I was walking, as I started to feel better and have more energy and just stay consistent, I started adding in jumping jacks and air squats and push-ups and sit-ups. And, every lap I would run a third and then walk the rest. And so I slowly built up to having this new stamina, this new fitness level, my new baseline. The weight came off. The confidence went up. The money came in. Because by proxy, when you are working on being a better version of you, you're creating a better environment for everyone around you. You're creating abundance. And that abundance will attract more abundance. And it all starts with you. It all starts with your morning routine. It all starts with how you choose to get up and crush the day before it crushes you. And I think that if you can find it in yourself to wake up a little bit earlier, to be more intentional about gratitude, to drink more water. Like, I'm calling myself out as much as I'm calling all of y'all out. Like, water is the key. It is the manna of life. There's all the different things we could go on about with water, but we know how important it is. So drink more water. And then get your exercise. Move your body. Be intentional. Do yoga. Do stretching. Go to a CrossFit gym. Walk on a treadmill. Row a rower. Ride a bike. I don't care what you do, but be intentional. Because the intentionality is what creates results. And the more consistent you are, and the more intentional you are, the more you're going to get out of life. And so let this be a quick little reminder, a few easy things that you can go and implement in your day right now, starting tomorrow at the earliest. And you can start seeing how your success can just absolutely be kickstarted with a better morning routine. And I want to hear about it. I want to know if this works for you, if you enjoyed it, if you like it, share it on social media, leave us a review, tag someone, let them know that they're going to get some value, because this routine, this process has helped me absolutely change my life. My family and I get to do amazing things because I got focused and intentional with my morning rituals, with my morning routine. I wake up earlier. I'm grateful. I drink water. I work out. And I listen to a podcast like this. I educate and entertain myself. I fill myself with motivation, because every day we need that little reminder. And I hope today's show was your reminder for you. And if it was, share it with somebody. Tell them about it. Subscribe to the show. And then bring that story. Head over to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. I want to hear what happens 30 days from now, after you've been waking up and doing all these things. What happened? Did you grow? Did you succeed? Send us a message. Let us know. Let's have you on the show. You guys know what to do. Go call the damn leads. We'll see you on the next one.